I was born and raised on the Wirral in the northwest of England. I still live there now. It's a cool place to live. On one side of the Wirral, across the River Mersey, you have the city of Liverpool, and to the south and a little bit to the east, you have the city of Chester. When I was a kid in the 70s and the 80s, if we were going to go out for a big shop anywhere, we'd go to one of these two cities. Now, Liverpool was cool. It had some good shops and was always a great day out, but I always preferred going to Chester because of one particular shop. Yes, that's right, Toy and Hobby, the legendary 80s toy store here in the north of England. Now, if you didn't grow up in the 80s in England, up north, you probably have never heard of this amazing toy shop. In 1980, Toy and Hobby shops opened in Chester, St Helens and Stockport, and by 1985 another 3 branches opened in Oldham, Wigan and Birkenhead. The hands-on approach of Toy and Hobby predated the arrival of Toys R Us by some 9 years. I always look forward to going to Chester in the 80s to visit Toy and Hobby and actually play with some of the toys without anyone telling me off or throwing me out of the shop. It was absolutely amazing. I bought most of my Star Wars toys from the Chester branch of Toy and Hobby. I recently dug out my collection and made a video. I'll post a link below so you can check it out too. Anyway, I was trolling the internet. I was trying to find some info about this amazing chain of toy shops, and the Chester branch in particular. There's not a lot out there at all. I found some old Toy and Hobby adverts, and I also found this photo taken sometime in the 80s outside the Chester branch, which is located on Foregate Street. I always thought the Chester shop had the red text with the yellow background signage, similar to the carrier bags. But I was obviously wrong. I mean, this photo's showing white text against dark green, which is weird. I can't remember it like that, but obviously it's true. You can still see a little bit further in there. You can see the red bricks on the yellow background, the familiar logo behind there. Looking at this photo brings back vivid memories of the Toy and Hobby green bubbly floor that ran throughout the shop. In fact, I think the floors in all the Toy and Hobby branches had this same flooring. It was great. I mean, you knew you were in a Toy and Hobby shop when you stepped in and looked down and saw that green bubbly floor. So in this photo, it looks like some kind of motor rally going through Chester city centre. I'm not sure the date. I'm not sure the actual event. Does anyone out there recognise it? I'd love more information on that. Leave any comments below if you know anything about this. You never know, maybe you're in the photo. I actually thought that was me standing there on the over on the right. I was like, nah, that can't be me. It looks a little bit like me from the 80s, but I don't think it is. There's also a cousin's coffee house in this photo too. I remember this cafe quite vividly. I remember going in there for cakes on many of an occasion. I'm sure this was a small chain as well, maybe in the north of England, but I haven't actually got any more info on that coffee house. I'm not sure what that shop is to the left of Toy and Hobby. Looks like a clothes shop, but not sure the name. They've got a sale on there though. If anyone has any more information, please make sure to post it below. I want to know more information about the Chester branch of Toy and Hobby. Towards the end of the 80s, Toy and Hobby struggled against its American rival Toys R Us. Toys R Us arrived in the UK in 1985 and steadily grew bigger. And by the end of the 80s, Toy and Hobby just couldn't keep going. They just couldn't keep up with Toys R Us. I'm not exactly sure when Toy and Hobby ceased to exist and whether all 6 branches closed at the same time, but I remember going for a day out in Chester and discovering that Toy and Hobby was no more. It was such a sad day. So let's cut to today. This is what it looks like now in 2021. This is Foregate Street, Chester. You can see what was once Toy and Hobby. It's now been extended and is now a Dykeman's shoe shop. Cousin's Coffee House is now a body care shop. Before body care, this shop was owned by Game, but this branch unfortunately closed down sometime in 2020. So we now have no Game in Chester, which is another sad one really. Here's a panoramic view of Foregate Street now, so you can see exactly where Toy and Hobby was located in Chester. You've got Body Shop and Claire's off to the right there, heading towards the Eastgate Clock. And you can see McDonald's to the left, and then jutting out a bit you can see the massive Primark store, which used to be Woolworths, otherwise known to us as Woolies. But that's another story for another time, and it's another shop I actually miss. But I missed Toy and Hobby the most. I really wished it had survived and was still trading today. I mean, imagine what it would be like today. yeah, we've got Smiths and The Entertainer, but I don't know. But thanks Toy and Hobby for the fun, for the memories, and most importantly, for all my Star Wars toys, which I cherish. So take it away, Kenny Everett.
Take a trip to Toy and Hobby.
Come on in to a wonderland of toys.
Our stores are crammed full of toys, games and hobbies for all ages, and there's masses to choose from.
Toy and Hobby has millions of toys on prices for you.
We're open 6 days a week, so come along to Stockport, St Helens and Chester. Take a trip to
Toy and Hobby.
Wow, these super savers just keep on coming. Adam Imports Firefox is action all the way, $24.95. And what's this? Cuddly glowworm, $6.99. Frontini Typists Petite Super International Typewriter, $16.95.
Happy